What would it be like if out there in the restaurant a bomb exploded and you start hearing pop, pop, pop? You grab your family and you run out this door. Here's the thing. When I'm in public, I have to pee in a stall. I can deal with a public urinal if there's a divider between urinals. When there's not a divider, I'm like, what the hell? Just because we're men doesn't mean it's okay and that we're just wanting to see one another's junk. Is this homophobic? Put up dividers. The other day, I dreamt that I had a foot-long hair growing out of my ear. How could this happen to a foot in length and I wouldn't notice it until it was a foot in length? Made no sense to me. Why? I've been spending money like a drunken sailor. VIP! VIP, bitch! I'm going night-night. And what the hell? Damn it. Not cool, bro. But I am endeavoring to create myself as a high-value man. I'm faking it till I make it. This is part of the deal, honey, with my own twist, and you have no say. Greetings, y'all. This is Copy Who, and I'm your relaxed host, Paul, the producer. Welcome to the show, everyone. That's what I decided to do. I've been very high-strung on this doing this show, and what I really need to do is relax. Do you understand what I mean by relax? It means like I've been diving into this. I've been having an attitude on the days when I recorded, like, I gotta hurry, I gotta go through this, I gotta do this, get to it quickly. And so today I was like, just taking my sweet time getting ready. That includes getting up and working out and taking my time working out, not feeling rushed. And furthermore, while I was working out, I was watching Ryan Stone's Red Morning and feeling frustrated, to be honest, listening to it, thinking, I'm a freaking beta! And, because there are some things, I am laughing for legitimate reasons. I'm not laughing because I'm Vice President Kamala Harris. I'm laughing because I felt really frustrated when I was working out listening to him, because there are these descriptions and things they talk about as they go along, and not really a fan of the idea of being a beta, but I can't run from being a beta. I've had all this life conditioning of being a beta. So I think, actually, to be honest with you, it's on a spectrum, and there are alpha aspects to me as a man, and there are beta aspects to me as a man, and there are extremely fucking pathetic sissy aspects to me as a man. Is it really unattractive that I'm being self-deprecating right now? I don't know. I'm being honest. I'm being who I am. And it's exactly what I want to do, is just be honest, be myself. And so it wasn't very comforting this morning when I was watching Red Morning, because I'm getting all these frustrating signals about what it means to be a man, and am I really a man? It was making me feel frustrated, like I'm not man enough in this world, which is lame. But then I did finish my workout, and then that actually does make me feel good. That does make me feel manly to finish my workout. Turned out pretty good. I did my back and my biceps, and I did several high-intensity interval training moves. And so actually, I'm going to go like this now, because I just think the more varied color... This is my Han Solo jacket. Do you like this? I like it. It's my Han Solo jacket. And I'm trying to think, I'm going to try and imitate Chewie right now and see if I can make a Chewie. So he's kind of like... I don't know if that's any good, but I don't know. Anyway, you got to use your tongue. You got to roll. It's like rolling an R, but without finishing going with it. It's like anyway. Yes. So I moved on from Red Morning this morning when I was working out, and I actually came up after my workout, and instead of continuing watching live, I decided to watch a video from. Good God, I'm really not warmed up. Brave Church. And it was actually very comforting to me. You know what, actually, I got distracted because I realized I didn't have my show notes in front of me, and now I have my show notes in front of me. So I will be able to call those up as needed. Thank goodness. Glad to see that those are available to me. I'm still doing a couple things on here. See, I guess I didn't get everything ready. It takes a lot. But I was watching a video by Brave Church, and compared to watching Ryan, I felt immediately comforted. It's really interesting how good gospel or good preaching from a good pastor, it has a a spiritually calming effect on me, unlike a lot of the petty shit you hear on something like, and Red Morning is amusing, and this is not a criticism of Ryan. It's a criticism of the idea of red pill and this not being enough of a man and women, and he calls them whammon. I don't know why they're doing that. Is it just a funny way to refer to women as whammon? But so then what I did was, after that, I was like, okay, it's time to get ready for the day. I went upstairs, I took a shower, and in my shower, I was listening to something incredibly dark. It was the third thing I was listening to this morning, and it's very ominous and dark and freaky. Oh, wait, hold on.
More on the COVID tyranny rollout.
So this is it.
McCarthy melts down.
Negative stuff.
To vacate the chair and remove
you know who this is. Alex from IW. Alex from IW.
The open border news is the biggest yet.
Okay, so this can be very somber stuff to listen to, and to be honest with you, it's what resonates with me the most. That's why when people, they ask me, what am I like on here? And I go, I kind of consider myself a combination of old school Howard Stern in some respects, more intellectual, and Alex Jones, bitch! Unapologetically, okay? And then people are kind of like, Alex Jones? And they have all those preconceived notions of Alex Jones from mainstream media. Usually the stupid things they say about him, gay frogs, is what I hear from people the most. You bring up Alex Jones, and it's like, it seems to me the most people say most often is, gay frogs, ha ha ha. And it's like, you got to hear that story to understand how there's validity to what he's talking about. But it's just, yeah, so I it was a roller coaster of different media feelings. And so I was in the shower, and I took a very long cold shower at the end of the very comfortable warm shower today. And I feel pretty good right now. I feel pretty alert and awake. I got a relatively good night of sleep. I'm seeing this be a little choppy right now, and I don't know if it's recording like that. I hope it's not. It's a little frustrating. So what I did was I added another camera to my studio. I'm going to show it to you really quick. I'm going to show you that side of the room. That's where someone's going to sit when I talk to them. I'm going to get rid of that stupid nightstand thing that's over there on the right with the lamp on it. I'm going to get rid of that blanket. And the reason I'm showing you right now, it looks cheesy. It looks stupid as hell. It's embarrassing how bad it looks, actually. But the point of it is I'm trying to move this forward so that I can actually have people come in here and talk to me in person. And then I'll be able to flick back and forth between me and those people, like, and so forth, like that. So this is ever evolving. I want to put up a TV on that wall, probably behind whoever's over there, with some accent lighting, kind of like I did over here, and then I have some other studio foam I'm going to put up, and it's really complicated. It's a reverse of this wall over here, and what's worrying me is reflections, but I'm too obsessed with the reflections. You know that? I saw Adam Carolla in the last couple days, and I realized Adam has reflections in his TV. When he's watching something on a television set in front of him, you can see that TV reflecting into the TVs he has on his wall with his show name and his logo up there. And I'm like, I got to get over this idea that every little thing I do needs to be perfect. That was why I kind of stuttered a moment ago, because I had that burp welling up inside me. And if you haven't noticed, burping is one of the very Howard Stern things that I do here. I'm unapologetic about the burps. If I want to burp, if I need to burp, I will burp. But I'm here now. I'm doing this now. And I'm a little more... I've noticed when I do this, it's like I'm really... And I do like getting into that state of mind. I expect a little of that to happen today. And I'm just liking a lot of the new aspects of this show that I'm trying to do here. And I do consider it a show. It's not just some video stream that I'm doing. I'm trying to create something here that evolves into something more and more, that becomes more and more interesting. So close up on Tracy Lee TV today. It's also Tracy Lee Theater. Tracy Lee Samsung Theater is what I've been calling it. That is it's a Jethro Tull live video concert called Jethro Tull Nothing Is Easy Live. And obviously I can't play the sound or it's going to get like a copyright strike. And I hooked up also, you can't see it. Let me see if I can lift it up here and you can see it. Oh yeah, see this? This is an Elgato Stream Deck, and it's helping me because I set some scenes up on here so I can switch cameras with these buttons in front of me now, and it's really quick, and I like that aspect to it. And it'll also help me when I'm zoomed in on this TV over here. Like sometimes I've been always zooming out. Well, this Stream Deck allows me to know which scene I'm on. It circles the scene that you're on, and I can't see that. When I zoom in on things, it all disappears. So see, when I zoom in, you'll see it probably, yeah, you see it moving over there to the left on me on this TV, right? Well, that happens on my monitor up there that shows me my video output when I'm recording. And so will allow me to know that I'm on the correct camera without having to zoom out and confirm it. And I think that'll level up just a little bit of what I'm doing because I'm not like constantly zooming out to see if something's correct when I'm zoomed in on something. But anyway, I think it's time to move on. Oh crap. This first one is not so funny. I felt disheartened this week, and I can't get super specific about the person I'm talking about, but I know someone from my young life, and she recently did something to her face, and it's some kind of cosmetic thing. I don't know if it was I don't know if it was Botox or lips or whatever, but I saw it and I was like, oh no, because once you start feeling like you're aged and you have to do something to keep up with all the other women. It's like this was a person with perfect beauty, and I'm bringing this up not to dump on her. It's actually because I would like to give other young women the perspective that aging gracefully is the most beautiful thing you can do. And instead of like running out and altering your face, I would prefer you not do that and just love yourself for who you are. I can't tell what she did, but it can only be a result of some kind of insecurity. And it's not about that individual. It's something society is doing to a lot of women. You see it rampant in like Los Angeles or something. And that really bums me out when I see gorgeous natural looking women mess something up. Jennifer Aniston did it. There's something off with her face now. If you're doing it right, you're doing such a small amount of it that it does help you maintain your youth, but you can't tell that you've done anything because you look perfectly natural. But if I look at you and go, oh, you did something, then you've gone too far. You've taken too big of a step. And this is someone who could have aged perfectly. And so it's just don't mess with perfection is the message of that. And I'm not in a mood to be overly boisterous saying that, like, because I know I get crazy and yell crazy stupid things on here, but I really feel like I just want to deliver that message to young women. It's like, accept yourself and accept the changes for what they are. And it's often not a good thing when you see women changing too much. Even Courtney Cox from Friends, she acknowledged that she did things to her face that she regretted. And it's like, yeah, she had the type of beauty and she was aging in a certain way that was wonderful and beautiful, and she never should have done anything to change it. So, don't fuck up your face! Sincerely. Do not fuck up your face. Otherwise, I'll be here just crying about it like a little bitch. I'm the little bitch in this statement. And I guess, and I'm not calling you guys bitches because I'm trying to build you up. I'm trying to say, don't do that. You don't need to do that. You ought not want to do that. For God's sake, don't do that. Where are we? Yeah, so someone this week, I ran into someone and they go, yeah, it can't be that bad, Paul, it's hump day. And they mean that it's Wednesday. But when I hear hump day, I think something else. I'm thinking like humping like sex. And so I'm thinking to myself, noun or a verb? And I'm thinking, well, if it's hump day every day and it's a verb, then it's a marvelous day every single day. But if it's hump day Wednesday, it's still Wednesday, and Wednesday can be pretty boring. I don't know why we have such a tendency. Well, it's the end of the work week, and it means that people don't like what they're doing for work most of the time, and they're like, I'm halfway there, and so they have to idealize this hump day. Is every day hump day for you? Meaning as a verb, because as a noun, it's a depressing thing, but as a verb, if every day is hump, I swear to God, though, actually, if I had one hump day a week, as a verb, I'd be pretty delighted with life. I would say that's a pretty good outlet. But I think if you're really healthy and in something new, every day could be and should be a hump day a little bit. Maybe even a couple times. It's not just a hump day. It's several hump days in a day. It's several humps in a day, making a day a splendid hump day in the most glorious sense of the word. I meant what I just said then. And I don't know if that was funny or interesting or what. I just, it's like someone said to me on Wednesday when I went to get chiropractor work done downtown, someone said, it's not that bad. It's hump day. And I thought, hump day? And I think I had a smarmy response to that. I was like, what do you mean hump day? What do you mean hump day? Noun or a verb? That is what you should, when someone says, it's hump day, and you're like, noun or a verb? Okay, yeah, because, like I said, one is boring, one is delightful, one is sad, one is glorious. Between the noun and the verb, I mean, like, I'm sure there are all kinds of other metaphors for nouns and verbs describing something, but there's nothing like the hump day, okay? The noun or the verb. Is it great? Is it glorious? Well, that probably means it's the verb. But then I guess it's your mental attitude. You're like, if you're just like sickeningly optimistic, you're like, yay, it's hump day, meaning the middle of the week. Yay, my miserable week is half over. And I'm pretending to be optimistic, or I'm delusionally optimistic, or WTF ever. All right. Okay. Spicy salsa is the bane of my asshole because I go out eating yummy, spicy salsa. You go to this restaurant I went to yesterday, Las Delicias, and they give you free chips right when you start out, and you're eating the free chips, and it's ever so spicy, and you're like, oh my goodness, I love it going in, but going out, it's hell. And it takes 24 hours to manifest. So you really have to show self-control in the moment, not to eat the spicy stuff that burns your a-hole in order to have a pleasant tomorrow. It's not always easy. So yes, I was in a Mexican restaurant yesterday, like I was just saying, and it was Las Delicias. And after eating, I went to the restroom. I was standing up peeing in the toilet when I thought about what would happen. What would it be like if out there in the restaurant a bomb exploded? Oh, shit. Why? I don't know why. It's just morbid. I always have these morbid thoughts when I go into a restaurant where I sit down. I'm like, I got to see everything in the restaurant. And if I start hearing pop, 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 I'm always like, where's the emergency exit? If someone comes in from the front door and you start hearing pop, 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 you grab your family and you run out this door here. And I've been described as a sheepdog before, which was very nice of this person to describe me as a sheepdog. I hope that in the moment when something bad happens, I am a sheepdog. But I am digressing about my noble being as a sheepdog. So then you know what happened when I was pissing? Guess what happened? My phone rang. And the funny thing is, it always seems that when I'm peeing, that's when there's a demand for me. I either get a text or the phone rings, and I suppose it's much better than the explosion. But that is what happened. And it was my dad, and I couldn't pick up because I had my hands full with my schlong emptying out my main vein, and I couldn't answer. So I went to my car and I called him. But again, I have these strange thoughts. Like when I was in the restaurant, I was like, what if there were an explosion right now when I'm in the bathroom? What would I do? I might very well be shielded inside. I always go into the, God knows, in public. Here's the thing. When I'm in public, I have to pee in a stall. I very much prefer to pee in a stall, I must say, because I'm not interested in public seeing the junk of other men. Ever. And so the beauty of this is that I'm in a stall and I'm surrounded, and in case there's an explosion, you have this natural shield of the walls around you. The debris, the shrapnel will not be hitting you directly. And I think of these things, okay? And when you're at a public urinal, it's like I can deal with a public urinal if there's a divider between urinals, but when there's not a divider, I'm like, what the hell? You see how I'm getting warmed up and a little more energetic and a little more enthusiastic? It's true. But I don't want to see other men's junk, and so I have a problem with restaurants that have restrooms that don't have dividers, or bars that don't have dividers, or the public restrooms that don't have dividers between urinals. Just because we're men doesn't mean it's okay and that we're just wanting to see one another's junk. Is this homophobic? Is that what would be called homophobic? I'm not calling it homophobic. I'm just saying I love all kinds of men platonically, and I don't want or need to see their junk. It's true. That's a true story. So why, with no dividers? Put up dividers! You cheap bastards, put dividers between the urinals. That's an example today, this topic of not being planned. When I went into the bomb bit, which was about the bomb exploding in the bathroom stall, I did not have the plan to go into the thing about the urinals with the dividers in between. And that worked out beautifully. I don't know. Maybe it didn't work out beautifully. Maybe that was lame and boring. Be that as it may, I'm glad it happened. And I'm glad even that I had the spontaneous thought that when you're in the stall, the walls of the stall will protect you from the explosion. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Shit. Oh, okay. So I'm here. Sometimes I hear little clicky things with the wireless system. I guess that means it's not a perfect system. Maybe it needs to be on a different channel. We have so many Wi-Fi things in society right now that interfere in what you're doing. But the other day I dreamt that I had a foot-long hair growing out of my ear. It was like I had a hair and I was yanking on it. And I was at the Kava bar and I was talking to these two nice young people there, Greg and Leah. And this was in my dream. And I was talking about how I had a hair growing outside of my ear. And I was like, how could this happen? How could it happen that my hair growing out of my ear would grow to a foot in length and I wouldn't notice it until it was a foot in length? Made no sense to me. It would be impossible that long-ass thing would grow there out of my ear and be unnoticed, right? And so I have occasional conversations with Greg and Leah, and I think that's why they were in my dream. There was nothing else weird in my dream with these two. Don't let your imagination run wild because nothing weird happened. It just was the foot-long hair out of my ear. Why? I don't know. I wanted to go see Corey Feldman perform with the VIP meet and greet this week, but I've been spending money like a drunken sailor, and every time there's a concert now, I'm like, VIP, bitch! And so I want to spend the extra to meet people and get pictures with people and maybe get a good conversation with some people I've admired in my life for various reasons. And so I wanted to meet Corey Feldman this week, but I decided against. Do you know why I decided against? Well, first of all, his music is atrocious, but I figured I would watch it for the satirical value of it, for how horrendous it was. But what really made me decide against it was that the meet and greet was after the show, which would wrap up at 11:30, and I thought, oh my God, 11:30. I have a bedtime. I'm a half a century years old. And Corey he's older than I am, so it's like, what are you doing up that late? These should be late afternoon concerts, Corey. And so let me just tell you, I'm wondering if they do the meet and greet afterwards, because I bet you more people just want to meet Corey, but they don't want to endure the shitty music. And I'm sorry, Corey, but it's not good music. Although I will concede that your dancing has gotten better over the years. I'm serious. I can tell you've worked at that, and this is not a joke. He's gotten better at dancing, but people are less likely to buy your VIP package if they know, like I knew, that they have to wait until after the concert to meet you. Because I was like, I'm going night-night. You could have made an extra $200 that day from me with the VIP if you had just decided to do it before your concert, but then you would be performing for nobody. And it was at Herman's Hideaway. I don't know if that's a cool place for people to play. I guess it was relocated, I don't know why, from another venue. But it's like, Corey, come on, man. My goodness, Corey Feldman, what the hell? It's time for one of those. Is this it? All right. I'm going to fill this aqua up right now, because I'm in the mood for that, you know. Yo. Yeah, and I do one of those. It's just because, I don't know. I worked out this morning, so I am A little thirsty right now. And when I start talking, I start going, wanting to clear my throat a little bit. And I'm going to put some of this turmeric urine water in here. Same jokes every week. Get a new joke, you son of a bitch. Get a joke writer, you son of a bitch. Okay. Here we go. We're here, we're drinking. This is sort of an intermission between the whatchamacallit. The Ascension. It's like a break in the show where things start changing a little bit, and I'm cool with that. And got to wipe this down right here a little bit and do one of those because I feel like it. It's just a cheap gimmick. And if you think that gets old, it didn't get old when David Letterman did it. Damn it. I realize. Looky here. You see over there, imperfection. Do you know what's imperfect to me about this shot right now? Okay, so I have the toilet paper I just threw at the camera. Not cool, bro. Now it's out of sight. That's one of the imperfections, but the other one is those batteries over there. Are those batteries over there? No. The subject of the sentence was imperfection. The imperfection in this shot is those batteries over there. Because the subject of the sentence is imperfection, and it's not the subject is the batteries. The subject... Oh, fuck. Me and my grammar. Fuck me! All right, where are we right now? We're about ready to take a sip and proceed to that delightful moment in the show where we just get a little bonkers. Doing something semi sort of kind of spontaneous. And let's see if the lights if they reset themselves, if they flash properly right now. It's going to be glorious, okay? So we're going to actually go like so. I'm going to go boom. All right, it worked. Here we go, Mama, Papa. Rise. Oh my God, did I say rise? I'm such a stupid bastard. You know why? Because I'm supposed to... Oh yeah, I'm getting used to the Stream Deck in front of me. That's pretty awesome. I rather like that. I'm going to cut that other light out right now. Get some more of that. Get some more of that. Welcome, everyone. This is Copy Who. I keep doing it. Even though I have the most abysmal amount of people listening and watching, I keep doing it. And don't you be dissing. Yes, sirree. I love you. As Ozzy Osbourne says all the time in his concerts, I fucking love you all. I love you all. It's just a pep rally for me when I do this, okay? And you have to endure it. Whether you like it or not, I don't care. I'm doing it. This is what I do. I copy the shit out of you know who. Can you deal with that? I think I can deal with that. But here we go. Back on with the lights. Thank you, sir. Escape out of that. Move back over here and come back over here to this. Hello, everyone. This is Copy Who. I'm the one and only, and I think it's time for me to put these on. Usually I put them on and get a little more nutty earlier on. There it is. There it is. Hold on. I want to just flash some lights on me right now. Go like so and darken it out. Go like boo-ba-doo, boo-ba-doo. Yes. Ah! Yeah, because I actually take these screenshots. If you don't watch the short clips, now at the beginning of the show, the new way I'm doing it, I take screenshots and I do have this little ching, ching, ching intro to it. And that's what I want to do. Again, it's what I want to do. Oh, I'll pray like this. I'll do one like this. I'll do one like this. Ah! Okay. I have what I need. We come back now to this. Did that go on too long? If you think it went on too long, F you! We do precisely what we want to do here. It's more for me than it is for you. And if you like it, cool. Oh, that's one of the things that depressed me about Red Morning this morning when Ryan Stone was talking about what Clout is. Basically, Clout is a bunch of anonymous people you don't know on the internet who like what you do. And so I have no clout. But eventually I'm hoping someone might lend me some of their clout and get me going here, because I have abysmal, even though I think this is getting better, and for me it's more interesting all the time, and I like it better, and it's more therapeutic for me, and I think it just evolves and gets better. I still want more people to watch and listen. But I know with that, I don't feel the pressure of that right now. If there are a bunch of people who have an expectation of me, I know I'm going to lead them to be disappointed. So right now, there's really only me that I can be disappointing. And I think there's some truth to that. It's not even a bit. It's not even a joke. It's just that if tons of people are listening, which is what I want, then I will feel more pressure from it. I'll feel like I have to uphold a certain standard. Right now, I can be bottom of the barrel bullshit. And I don't really have, there are extremely few people who do watch my clips, and I appreciate that. It's time to go on now, though. So actually, this is sort of an interesting thing. I want to open this up. This is a clip from Adam Carolla talking to Tucker Carlson, and something. I'll just cut to this point in it right here. Actually, I want to see how. So right now, can I go like? No, okay. The right way to do this is. Oh no, let's say I go like this. I go boom, boom. There. It's a whole different hand maneuver. You know, when you go to... It looks like he's blowing. Look, I'm jerking off a dick in your mouth, Tucker. Sorry. It's just what I thought of, and so I say it. That I did not plan on landing on that, on his face like that, but let's go a little closer in on that, shall we? Ooh. 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 I'm going to put my finger in Tucker Carlson's mouth. Right there. All right. That's enough of that. So this is a clip. I wanted to make commentary on what they were saying. To be honest with you, all joking aside, I thought that this was a very brilliant interview. The whole thing was a brilliant, honest, real conversation. And another one I want to recommend was Adam Carolla with Candace Owens recently. These are just brilliant, real conversations people are having, and I loved hearing it. Candid, real stuff, because we don't get that from mainstream media, and that's the appeal of this for me. It's why I want to comment on this, but let me play right here, because I vaguely remember what they were talking about here, but I do have some things to say about it that I wrote down a tiny bit in notes.
To the whole ecosystem of bullshit that makes Washington the richest city in the world and its suburbs the richest suburbs, because once you start questioning things, like basic things like, why do we have NATO? Well, no one can answer that question. NATO is obviously a force for instability and bad in the world, right?
Yes.
But no one allows himself to like update, their perceptions of NATO. It's like, no, they're keeping the Soviets at bay. Well, the Soviets don't exist anymore.
I remember what I wanted to say.
So when Trump asks a question like that, nobody in D.C. can grapple with it honestly, because if we're being honest, their livelihoods are tied up in things
Bingo.
like NATO
Yes.
and Head Start and Medicare and failed projects that no one's allowed to reassess because...
Yes. Oh, God, yes. Okay, so you know what? I remembered when I was watching this quite a few years ago, Mike David was talking about something when he was doing his show out of Chicago, and it had to do with some kind of public thing that started getting funded by the city, and he was talking about how once you start throwing money into something, then like the money becomes something people are dependent on, and then it becomes the obstacle to getting rid of that something that's supposed to solve a problem. Once the problem is solved, the problem of waste continues because you can't end that thing. And that's what I was thinking about NATO, is that presumably NATO was after World War II created to defend Europe against the Soviet Union. That was at least the... And so what happened was with the fall of the Soviet Union, the purpose became obsolete, except that it became a power unto itself. And in a lot of ways, such a mighty power with all this economic demand on companies wanting to buy weapons and stuff with it, that you have to uphold that demand and you have to keep this machine going, even though it's become obsolete. And even though the bulk of the people of the world would probably be better by redefining it or not tearing it down, dialing it down, So you can't say that. So Trump came in and said some mean things about NATO, and it demonstrates how powerful NATO is when it comes to American politics. It's like American politics, in some sense, have lost some of their independence and sovereignty because they have to be beholden to this behemoth of power, which is really a manifestation of a certain kind of imperialism, especially as it pertains to economics, dependent economics, demand for things economically, like especially weapon systems, weapons of war, things of this nature. And that's the point I'm making. So they throw all these billions of dollars into it, and then it becomes a troublesome obstacle that is threatening peace in the world instead of like guaranteeing peace in the world, because that was supposedly, or maybe that was the propagandist lie told in the beginning of it of why it was initiated. I think its purpose has evolved, and it's become more of a danger to all of us, starting World War III, than it has something that's keeping us out of conflict. It should be a force for peace and not a force for good. Excuse me, I said that totally incorrectly. It should be a force for peace and not a force for war. And so I think it's very troubling. And you can look at other things in society, whether it's on a local level, like governments approving funding for any kind of thing. Again, the funding becomes the obstacle to certain problems, like the war on drugs. All this money pours in. It buys weaponry. Some of it, so it's amazing how many of these things have to do with weaponry. So you buy weaponry and you create the DEA and you give them all these weapons and you hire all these agents and need all this money to do that. And then all these people are dependent on that. And so they want to keep all the policies that are failed policies, and they hurt families more than the actual drugs by having something like the DEA going out and busting people. And I'm not trying to knock people. I think the DEA does some good in certain contexts with certain drugs. But if you just look at it, for instance, like as it pertains to marijuana, it hurts people to have all this funding go toward things like weapons and agencies and agents who are like busting down your door over a few harmless pot plants. And it really is harmless pot plants. But you also have other conflicts of interest and all of that. But that's what I was thinking about as I was listening to Tucker and Adam talk about this point right here. NATO is one of these things where all this money is thrown into it, and then people become dependent on that money and on the economic demand it creates. And then you can never do away with it regardless of obsolescence, because it's still serving that purpose. It's a big circle jerk. It's like having an American base somewhere else in the world. There's that economic need for that base there. Even though it's not a real need, it becomes established as an economic need, and it's there as a precedent. And then what props it up is propaganda, not being able to get rid of it. Gee, I'm smarter sometimes than I let on here, huh? And so I hope someday my smarts will actually embolden someone to have me on their show so that maybe I can start building my show, or have people inspired. When I ask them to come on here, maybe they'll come on here. When I put them over there next to the shitty wall, which won't be the shitty wall anymore, okay? I like showing that to you. Look at that shitty blanket. That used to be my my bedspread when I used to have just like a double bed. And now I have a king-size bed. But now the reason you're like, why is it a black thing hanging up there? Because the wall is painted white there. And if I don't put that black thing up there, that whole white wall reflects into this TV, and I can't stand that. But actually, let me go through here and take you through to where maybe I will see. Here's Adam's studio right here, okay? So here's Adam's studio, and you can see there's a reflection up to the left of him in this TV right there. Can you see that? There's some kind of reflecting thing, and I think that's the TV in front of him. And that is what I'm afraid of, because this is a glossy TV. I got to get a matted TV here eventually if I don't want that. And I bet you he has a glossy TV, and that's why it's reflecting there. Or it's just too bright, because I know there's still a reflection on matted. But that's what I'm afraid of with decorating this wall back here. Keep cutting to that. When I decorate that wall, if I put up TVs and lights, if I put the white wall there, you're going to actually see it in this television here, especially when there's partly a black backdrop in there. I felt like pointing that out. But these two are very brilliant, and I do recommend. I've talked enough about that. That's the most political I've gotten probably on this show ever, at least as far as geopolitical shit and governments spending money and creating agencies that wind up bleeding you dry, and then they are like these sovereign agencies that undermine the power of the regular branches of government. But anyway, I digress far. And that's what I mean by I talk about, I grift in anything I want. I want to make the points I want to make. And so that felt like something interesting to bring up. Let's talk about, where are we now time-wise? We have 20 minutes left. Holy shit balls. I know that I watched this, I watched this clip some time ago. Let me pull it up. Is this? Okay, yeah, it's a YouTube clip. And it's Rollo and Michael Sartain on Access Vegas. And I want to listen to this conversation they're having here again. Let me try this again. So I go like so, and I go boom, boom. Yes, that's more efficient when I'm able to click on this thing in front of me. I know that's going to get much easier than having to mouse over to the scene in the program. Anyway, let us play and see what they say.
Women don't want a man to cheat, but they love a man who could cheat.
One more time. The percentage of men that are 6'3" is 1% of men. 1% of men. You want a guy who makes $500,000 a year and is...
Oh, listen very honestly, because he's talking real shit here about how women think it's like they're so great and they're so entitled. It's incredibly unlikely that you're going to get this super imaginary great man. And I would say a lot of people would probably say the same about me wanting a hot young woman who's like a virgin. Impossible, but it's like what I want, and it's very unlikely in my day and age that I'm going to meet a hot young woman who's a virgin unless she lies about it. We're getting that hymen checked, honey, but keep talking, guys.
6'3".
So you're saying there's a chance?
I respect that hymen myself. No, there's a small chance, honey. It's like extremely minute.
0.
Right, but do you understand where we come up with the term?
It only takes one.
Yeah,
it only takes one.
Do you understand
He's
where
probably
we
married, though.
where we come up with the term delusional? So the idea that you guys are going to find that man is less than 1%. The fact that you're going to have sex with him is less than 1%. The fact that you're going to be in a relationship with him is even less. And the fact that you're going to keep him without cheating is even less. Do you understand why we say delusional?
About that, keeping him.
Do you understand why we say delusional?
Yes.
Do you understand why we say delusional?
If you're going to keep him, you got to bring girls home, or you got to turn a blind eye, because
I agree.
He's in that.
But like a high value man has all the options in the world. And I'm not sitting here saying I'm a high value man, but I am endeavoring to create myself as a high value man. I'm faking it till I make it. I'm stealing that for myself right now. Absolutely. I'm faking it, people. And at some point, someone's going to say, I think this guy has something here. And she's going to be hot, and we're going to get along, and we're going to have some similar values. And I actually, honestly, I hope we go to the same church. And that is really what I want. And I'm scared to death of that, though. And I was just saying to my cousin recently that I'm afraid to be more to get more involved in the community at the church I'm going to, because I'm a big fat hypocrite and a sinner. And sinning's not funny, but I'm laughing at it now because it's just like, I just so nonchalantly, I'm a sinner, blah, 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 ha, ha, ha. I don't want to have Kamala Harris laugh on here when I talk about sinning, but I want to, so I'm like, I want a woman from a church community, but I also don't want her to think I'm a big fat phony hypocrite. Like, I'm scared to death when I meet a woman, I'm gonna be like, God, I'm so into her and I want her for myself. And then she's like, you can't be with me unless you give this up. And like, this is part of the deal, honey. What I'm doing right here is part of the deal. I'm doing this and you have no say. Okay? I'm not going to go ape shit Howard Stern, but sometimes I do step over the line. That's been the whole point of me being Mr. Shock Jock for the last 15 years of my life. I step over the line. I am part Alex Jones. I am part Howard Stern with my own twist in my own unique and singular way. I'm independently produced, and I would sure love it if someone were able and willing to just sit here with me and flip the camera themselves, because it drives me a little batshit crazy having to manage everything myself. But it also is a testament to what I can do here. And so I'm 6 feet tall. I'm not 6'3". I'm not impoverished, and I'm waiting for a woman to go, yes. And he values Christ. And she would notice when I'm not doing this show, she'd be like, oh my God, sometimes he's like way too serious. And it's true. I let it all out here. I let it all hang out here. I'm too serious in my real life. I have family members that know this where I'm just like, and my dad's like, why are you so angry all the time? And it's true because the world's fucked, Dad. And I'm waiting for you to wake up to it so that we can plan accordingly. Not a joke. It sounds like I might be joking when I say that because that sounds sensational, but that is not a joke. That's totally real what I'm saying, and it makes me the state of the world makes me freaking nervous. You know, I've mentioned it oft lately how I have to compartmentalize the war in Russia and all these things because I'm like, oh my God, we're gonna freaking die soon. I'm mortified. What the hell is going on? Holy shit, everyone, we're gonna die. Not compartmentalizing it well, but this whole show, actually, aside from bringing that up right now, this whole show is part compartmentalization of the things that are bothering me in real life, and that's why it's my form of escapism, and that's why it's really good for me and therapeutic for me to come here and just engage in as much spontaneous levity as I can. It's an exercise in improv, which I also love, and I do like to try to be funny, and sometimes I think I'm funny, and sometimes I'm not funny, and but I actually don't allow the paltry views that I have to interrupt my joy doing this very much because I just feel like keep going. There are all kinds of people who've done something and they just keep going and the point is to keep going. And then eventually shit happens. This is me putting myself in the mix of life. And eventually when you put yourself in the mix of life, some really cool shit happens and you wind up not regretting waiting around at times when it just seems like, God, is something really ever going to happen? Something is happening. This is meaningful to me, even if it's only me doing it. It's some kind of record. It's some kind of historic diary of my life, and it's some kind of expression of the world around me. And I feel a little bit frustrated, as I've said before, that I can't entirely immerse the culture that has impacted me in my life in this show because of copyright. Copyright is always a very frustrating thing for me for that reason. I would love to be able to just put up scenes in TV shows on here all the time, and I have done that a little bit, knowing full well that I'm gonna get some kind of copyright strike on certain things. And it's like I should be doing this show live, and that's a whole other fucking thing I'm gonna have to overcome with myself. Because imagine me doing this right now and having people interacting with me and bap. I need someone to be there managing that because I can't be sitting here doing all of that all at once, especially with as big as I want this to get. I want this to get huge. And I almost think Ryan was saying something similar this morning about how if it gets too big, suddenly the pressure's on to maintain something where it's like there's no pressure right now. And so that's why it's so relieving for me instead of being a stressor to do this. And that might be part of the appeal. If a woman sees the potential of what I'm doing here and says, I like this guy, something it is about him, my quirkiness or whatever. I don't know if I'm dorky, I'm beta, I'm alpha, I'm part of all of these things. I'm cool in certain respects. I'm dorky, I'm creative, and my creative, I think, is one of my strong things, you know. My dad has always helped me being creative, and I told him, what I'm doing here is part of the creative story of my life. Whether they get it or not, it's just I'm driven to be improve this, improve that wall. It's it gets stale when I'm not trying to take it forward. So every week I'm going to try and come back and say, here's what I did on this side of this. And at some point, that image right there that you see right there, it's going to be improved to the point that, actually, I want to see if I come up on this. If I come up on this, I want to go like this. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to join you over here, okay? Here's the shitty background of the new area. Hello, everyone. Hello. Same deal over here. I'm sure you can hear me. I actually have a feeling that this microphone needs adjustment. I certainly think it sounds different, but this is going to be different. I'm looking over like this because I see myself on the TV like that. How about that? What's up there, beautiful? This is going to evolve right here, and it's going to get a lot better looking up there. But I'm going back now. See what you can do with wireless headphones. I was trapped before, and now I'm back over here again. I want someone else sitting over there sometimes, and I have ideas of friends and people who I'm going to say, come sit in with me for the whole thing, and I'm going to do my thing here for the hour, and I'm going to have someone else sitting right there with me, and it's going to be more full and more vibrant, and I'm excited about doing this. Like, I got to get that wall fixed up because I know it's going to be badass, and someone's going to want to come and sit in front of that wall over there. Anyhow, God, I digress. Well, I know I got to kill the time here, so I'm going to go back to what I was talking about right now. Hello again, Rollo and Michael Sartain and a woman with beautiful, beautiful chest. I see that most of all. I shouldn't do this. Oh, boop. Okay. That's as perverted as I'm going to get. I'm not going to like mangle her boobs on here, although it is kind of tempting to go like this. Right there. They are amazing memories that I'm focused on right now. And she's looking at her hand, but you should be looking down there, woman. Okay, let's keep going.
I mean, he's just going to be like, you're out.
Negative thinking.
Do you want to coach for me? Like, seriously.
Totally.
I would hire you as a coach right
Maybe
now.
that's normal to me because
I agree.
I mean, to me, I don't know. Like, I'm not threatened by other girls. In fact, other girls are
I doubt
hot.
that.
I have a question. Would you, let's just say you married a high-value man or a provider man, as I prefer to call them. What are you doing? Are you bringing the women home? Are you turning your head the other way? Or what's that look like for you?
I'm curious to hear that as well. Seriously.
If he goes out with his buddies, bachelor party, whatever, they have strippers, he messes around, comes home, just don't tell me because it's not my business. Just don't bring STDs home to me or I will never forgive you, ever, ever. No. You will never hear from me.
What if he has a baby?
This is insane that a woman's sitting there and conceding that, okay, like it's normal. Like, that's not healthy. And it's thinking very lowly of yourself. Like, you don't have higher standards than that. Like, you would want to be with a guy who's out fooling around like that? Come on.
I guarantee that if you're...
She just said she doesn't feel intimidated by other women, and yet, like, to me, she just expressed something that demonstrates some severe low self-esteem. That's troubling.
Up with other women.
I expect him to handle his business.
My last relationship,
if he's a high value man, I'm trusting him to handle his business.
I agree.
So I don't even want to know about it. It's not my business. It's not for me to tell you what you can and can't do with your life. However, I would hope that he has enough respect for me to not mess with my mom and my sisters, my friends, people in my group that are going to cause drama or like...
That's respect. It's respect to go outside I doubt. There's no way there's not going to be jealousy, okay? Women are too emotional, and I don't believe what she's saying for a second. Is that what you're trying to attract a man with? Is that, oh, well, if I marry this hottie, have her as my trophy, she's still going to allow me? But even the guy, I would not feel good stepping out on a relationship like that. It just wouldn't be able, I wouldn't be able to, I'm not the type of guy who can do that. There are just, and does that make me less of a man because I'm not willing or wanting? It's like I still have the urge. I still get tempted. And like, I have to be careful not to put myself in situations emotionally where I want to be with someone else. And sexually, that's always there as a man. But I don't know. I don't know that I buy what this lady's saying. She's not as cool about it as she seemed. Oh, don't mess with my mom or my sisters. How would you feel about your sister if they did that? Or your mom? What funny examples?
Dynamic with my circle, like don't do that to me. But
what does your relationship look like?
I don't take her that seriously. She's a beauty, though.
Regards to the home life, are all bills paid? Do you have a nanny? Do you have Chanel,
if I'm turning
bottoms?
Yeah, he's a high value man. However, I cook.
Okay.
I cook.
Wait. I want to hear what you just said. What?
Home life, are all bills paid? Do you have a nanny? Do you have Chanel,
if I'm turning
bottoms?
Yeah, he's a high value man. However, I cook.
Okay.
I cook. I will meal prep for you to help you stay fit.
Oh, okay.
I will.
I'm not going that far.
Like, no, I right now I do that.
I'll make you a sandwich, baby.
No, right now I do that. I meal prep.
what I want to ask this woman is, do you actually want a man who doesn't step out on you? Ideally, is that what you want? Or do you just expect that as a result of some kind of low self-esteem? I seriously would like to know the answer to that question. Who are these people? These guys don't help guys like me because I want to contact her and I want to know the answer to this question.
Do the
Can't
macros
make a sandwich from the Argentine.
I will make your life easy too. You make my life easy, I'll make your life easy.
Hey, it almost sounds like what men really want is a woman who is going to be loyal, feminine, and bring them peace.
Yeah.
What a fucking crazy idea.
I got another.
Loyal,
I got another one.
bring them
Yes.
I got another one for you though. Here's the
Loyal, feminine, and bring the what?
Crazy
Yes.
idea.
I got another.
Loyal,
I got another
feminine,
one.
bring them
Yes.
peace.
I got another one for you.
Loyal, feminine, and bring the peace? I don't know what he's saying there.
Here's the thing is, so we always hear, high value men cheat, or they should have the option to cheat, or they usually are the ones.
Is it cheating though
I don't
if
know
he's
why. Why should a high value man have the option to cheat? Why is a high value man a man who's just? I can understand he has options, and that's attractive. That other women are attracted to him, and that will accentuate the attraction his spouse or wife or girlfriend has. But I can't understand why he should have the option if you're an honorable man. Rollo's always around these hot women, and I always wonder, I seriously wonder this, and I don't mean it in an insulting way. Have you been tempted? Have you stepped out on your wife? Have you done something secret because you're around these incredible hotties and you project this super high value as a man with all your clout online and whatnot? And I've just wondered. I wondered what your daughter thinks, but I wonder, God, there's so much about him I can't get into with the time I have left right now.
honest and
Okay, so here's what I'm saying is we're talking about open on his end and closed on your ends. Okay, so a polyamory, so it's like he's a high value guy, so you're gonna have to at least in some way accept the fact that you're going to have to share this guy. Now imagine the guy comes along, he has everything he's the dream date that you've had, right? So it meets all the criteria here. If you get into a monogamous relationship with that guy, just as like when you were married as well. If you get into a relationship with a high value guy, then would it not stand to reason that you would want to find some way to appreciate that guy? To say, you know what, he could be. Women don't want a man to cheat, but they love a man who could cheat because he's the guy that other men would be and other women.
But I'm not. That's like the point I was making. Just what I was making is that she wants that attractive guy who could cheat. It's like, so the man becomes the trophy husband or the trophy boyfriend or whatever. Right? Right? It's that, am I right? Let's keep going.
Sharing him if he's mine. I mean, random hoes come and go. Like those bitches or whatever. They don't threaten me because I'm the queen of the kingdom. I'm raising kids. I'm here for life.
So do you in the back of your head, you go, okay, I know this guy could have options. I know this guy is
but that makes him even hotter.
I am the whole time.
Yes, because
that's what I'm saying.
The fact that he keeps me around for life, in spite of the fact that
still okay, but like you've already made the point in this video that you want a guy to you want him not to bring home STDs, and it's okay. That's gonna rob you of your self-esteem worse than it. I mean, like the fact that you admit that demonstrates to me that you don't have all your self-esteem. And I'm not saying I'm the greatest, toughest guy out there, but you can see what I'm trying to do here is like not just fake it till I make it, but what do they call it? When you have a big truck with the big wheels on it, they're like, are you overcompensating for something? That's exactly what I do with TVs and gear and screensavers and producing ability. Make something larger than life here. Improve that wall to make some woman come in here and sit in front of it and talk to me. A beautiful woman. There will be a beautiful woman sitting over there. Mark my witness. Listen, God is my witness. I'm going to get a beautiful woman in here. And it may not be because I'm trying to hit on her, but because I'm going to make it happen. Just watch. Just watch. I have ideas of who already, and I think there's a good chance. And the conversations will be good. They'll be along these lines somehow. Intellectual, male, female, intersexual dynamics, spirituality, etc., all these kinds of things. I think there are a lot of areas where the red pill guys don't discuss that would be extremely interesting, and I'd like to hear more. So I think it's actually time to start wrapping things up a little bit. So I'm going to go to my ending white backdrop, and I'm going to go like so. I'm going to move it over here. And I'm going to bump that up for you like that. Actually, I did that that particular thing requires something a little different for me. But here comes the final song theme. What is up, everyone? I made it through another one. Hang out for a year. It's time to distinguish myself. I said the same exact thing last week because I have it written right there. And with another wall, with another person here, with interviews, that's coming. I promise that's coming because I'm dying for it to come to that next level. I feel like I can't fit it all in 1 hour, and sometimes I want to do 2-hour shows, but then I'm like, no one's listening anyway. Why do I want to do a 2-hour show anyway? If you like this, I appreciate you sharing it, telling your friends, letting other people at the Kava Bar know. Copy who is Landia Colossia. I am Paul, the producer, and I deal in rational extremes. Everyone, I sincerely mean it every single time I say, peace be with you all. Yeah, I didn't mix very well at the end there, but I'm still pleased, I think, with the show within reason today. Peace.